Listen, I need you to stop for a second and really hear me, because this is something most people don't understand until it's too late. Stress isn't just a part of life. It's a silent thief. It steals your focus, your energy, your health, and most importantly, your potential. And we all have it. Stress from work, stress from relationships, stress from the world, constantly demanding more than we feel capable of giving. But here's the thing nobody tells you. It's not the stress itself that breaks you. It's how you respond to it, how you carry it, how you let it control your mind and your decisions. Most people are walking around like their minds are in chaos and their hearts are on autopilot. You get a problem and you immediately react. You think faster than you breathe. You plan before you pause, and you live in the future instead of the present. That's how stress wins. It convinces you that you're powerless, that you're behind, that you're failing, even when none of that is true. But here's the reality. The only way to take that power back is to master your mind through mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just meditation. It's not just a buzzword. It's the ability to pause, to notice, to breathe, and to respond instead of react. It's saying to yourself, I see this stress. I acknowledge it. I decide how it affects me. Let me break it down for you. Every moment you spend worrying about what could go wrong, replaying mistakes, or imagining the worst case scenario, you're stealing life from yourself. You're giving energy to something that isn't even real yet. And while you're busy doing that, opportunities pass by, relationships strain, and your own health starts to erode. Mindfulness is the reset button. It's the tool that helps you step back and observe your thoughts instead of being consumed by them. It gives you the space to ask, does this thought serve me, or am I letting it control me? And when you start asking that question consistently, that's when everything begins to shift. Stress management isn't about eliminating stress. That's impossible. Life will always challenge you. What changes the game is how you respond. Do you tighten up and let it crush you, or do you breathe, evaluate, and take control? The most successful people I've met, the ones who built empires and changed lives, didn't avoid stress. They embraced it. They understood it. They managed it with awareness. They knew that clear thinking comes from calmness, not chaos. They knew that decisions made in a panicked mind rarely lead to growth. That's why mindfulness isn't optional. It's essential. It's the difference between surviving and thriving. And here's the real power of it. When you practice mindfulness, you reclaim your attention. You stop reacting to every ping, every criticism, every pressure like your life depends on it. You create space for creativity, for strategy, for resilience. Stress no longer dictates your behavior. It becomes information, a signal, a teacher. You start seeing challenges as opportunities, obstacles as lessons, and chaos as temporary. You start living fully in the moment while planning intelligently for the future. And the result is freedom, freedom in your mind, freedom in your body, and freedom in your life. So I want you to take a breath right now. Stop letting stress drive the car. Step into the driver's seat. Observe, pause, and choose your next move intentionally. Because the moment you do, you stop surviving every day and start truly living every day. Mindfulness isn't just a practice. It's a lifestyle. And once you embrace it, everything else in your life starts to change. Stress doesn't control your life. Your response does. And mindfulness is the tool that puts you back in control. Most people walk through life thinking that stress is something that happens to them, as if it is an outside force acting against their will. But the truth is, stress is inevitable. It's a natural part of living, of growing, of pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. What matters is not that stress exists, but how you handle it, how you let it shape your thoughts, your decisions, and ultimately your life. The moment you realize that you have the power to choose your response, you stop being a passenger and start being the driver of your own journey. That's the first step toward freedom from the invisible chains that stress places on most people. Think about your daily life. How often do you react before you pause? How often do you let a missed email, a difficult conversation, or a looming deadline dictate your mood, your energy, your focus? That's the moment stress takes control. And it doesn't just impact your mental state, it affects your health, your relationships, and your ability to make smart decisions. Mindfulness is not just a technique. It's a discipline that trains you to interrupt that automatic reaction. It teaches you to notice your thoughts, your emotions, and your bodily sensations before you act on them. It's the skill of observing your stress instead of being consumed by it, of creating a space between stimulus and response. In that space, you reclaim your power and you decide the story you're going to write for yourself. Most people assume that handling stress means ignoring it, suppressing it, or pushing through it. But that's not control, that's denial. and denial only strengthens the grip of stress. Mindfulness works differently. It asks you to face stress, acknowledge it, and understand it. It's about noticing the tension in your body, the racing in your mind, the pressure in your chest, and saying to yourself, I see you, I feel you, and I have the choice to respond differently. That choice is transformative because it shifts you from being reactive to being proactive. It allows you to act from clarity, not chaos. It allows you to think strategically, not emotionally. It allows you to solve problems instead of being overwhelmed by them. The power of mindfulness goes beyond just reducing anxiety in the moment. It rewires your relationship with life itself. When you practice mindfulness consistently, you stop giving every small irritation and every imagined worst-case scenario the power to disrupt your day. You start creating boundaries in your own mind. You start prioritizing what truly matters instead of wasting energy on what doesn't. Your focus sharpens, your decisions improve, and your resilience grows. You become someone who can navigate challenges with calm and confidence because you understand that the stress itself is not the enemy. It's the reaction that matters. Think about the leaders you admire, the entrepreneurs who built empires, the people who handle chaos without crumbling. They all share one habit. They've mastered their minds. They don't eliminate stress. They manage it. They respond. They don't react. They see pressure as information, not punishment. That's the secret that most people overlook. The mind is our most powerful asset, and mindfulness is the way you protect it, strengthen it, and use it to build the life you want. Every day, you're given countless opportunities to respond differently to stress. Every email, every meeting, every unexpected challenge is a chance to practice mindfulness. And with every choice, with every intentional pause, you reclaim control. You shift from a life dictated by circumstance to a life led by conscious decisions. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes until handling stress is no longer a struggle. It's a skill, a habit, and a foundation for success in every area of your life. Mindfulness is not just about calm. It's about power, clarity, and freedom. And once you embrace it fully, you begin to realize just how much of your life you've been letting slip away without noticing. Mastering your mind through awareness and intentional pause transforms chaos into clarity, allowing growth, focus, and resilience. Most people live their lives on autopilot, reacting to every email, every text, every comment, every unexpected challenge as if they have no control over their response. They wake up stressed, go through the day stressed, and go to bed exhausted, believing that life is just hard and uncontrollable. But that's a lie. The truth is, your mind is the only thing you can truly control, and the way you manage it determines the quality of your life. When you learn to step back, observe, and respond intentionally, everything changes. You move from being a victim of circumstance to being the architect of your own life. Chaos feels overwhelming because most people live in the constant loop of thought without noticing it. They think the faster they analyze, the safer they are. They think if they worry enough, they can prevent problems before they happen. But all that does is create more noise, more confusion, and more pressure. You end up exhausted, spinning in circles, and unable to focus on what really matters. Mindfulness teaches you to pause. It teaches you to step out of that mental whirlwind long enough to recognize your thoughts for what they are. Thoughts, not reality. It gives you the space to decide which thoughts deserve your attention and which are distractions. And once you start doing that consistently, clarity begins to replace chaos. Intentional pause is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. You can't just tell yourself to be calm and expect it to happen. You have to train your mind to notice tension, to notice the racing thoughts, to notice the emotional reactions before they hijack your behavior. You have to create moments in your day where you consciously step back, breathe, and assess. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me, or is it steering me away from my goals? That question alone changes everything because it forces you to take control rather than remain passive. It forces you to shift from reacting to responding. Once you gain clarity, growth becomes natural. Chaos keeps you small because it limits your ability to focus and strategize. When you master your mind, you can see opportunities where others see obstacles. You can plan with intention where others act impulsively. You can approach challenges with confidence instead of fear. That's where focus comes in. Focus is the reward for mindfulness because when your mind is clear, you can dedicate your energy to the tasks that truly matter. You're no longer drained by distractions or trapped in the noise of overthinking. You become productive, efficient, and aligned with your purpose. Resilience is the next level of this transformation. Life will test you. Unexpected problems, setbacks, failures, chaos will try to pull you down, and stress will always be present. But when you've trained your mind to pause, observe, and respond intentionally, Resilience isn't just possible, it becomes a habit. You don't crumble under pressure, you adapt, you learn, you pivot, you see obstacles as lessons, not roadblocks. And every time you respond with awareness instead of reaction, you strengthen your mental muscles. The leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators you admire have one thing in common. They mastered their mind first. They didn't eliminate stress. They controlled their responses. They didn't wait for calm to appear. They created it through awareness and intentional pause. And that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. It's not talent, luck, or resources. It's the ability to transform chaos into clarity, distraction into focus, and pressure into growth. You have the same power. Every day presents opportunities to practice this skill. Every challenge is a chance to pause, reflect, and respond intentionally. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes until mindfulness and intentionality are no longer practices. They are your default. You stop being tossed around by circumstances and start steering your life with clarity, focus, and resilience. Once you embrace this fully, you realize that the life you want has always been within reach. You just needed the power to master your mind and reclaim it.